You are listening to the Pursuit of Manliness podcast, where we are vigorously equipping men to pursue biblical manliness. This is our midweek A Quiet Life podcast that focuses on living a quiet life, mind your own affairs, work with your hands, and be dependent upon nobody. For more information, visit us at thepursuitofmanliness.com. You know, I've said a number of times that I'm a firm believer in periodically just going off the grid. Just choosing to shut it down and say, I'm done for a while. You can turn off your phone. You can turn off the television. You can, park the car somewhere and go for a walk. But I'm a firm believer in every once in a while, you just need to go off the grid mentally. You probably need to go off the grid a little bit relationally. And I say a little bit because you don't want to check out on your wife and children. You need to go off the grid, certainly electronically. Put those devices away. Just miss them or let them miss you. I know the thought is I'll walk away and I'll miss a phone call or something will happen and you'll be all right. And just for a little bit, don't care about the world. For just a little bit, it doesn't matter. No expectations of other people, no expectations of yourself. It just doesn't matter. And I'm not talking about, dumping responsibility. We want to be responsible individuals. We want to be people who, our presence matters, our work ethic matters, but every once in a while you need to just go off the grid. You can do that. I live in town. I live in a city. You can do that in a city. I can sit right here and see people coming and going and mowing their grass and school buses and trains and police cars, and mentally I can go off the grid. I can check out. I can get my heart and my mind right. And when I get my heart and mind right, which is not easy to do, other things seem to follow. I want to share this verse with you, Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3 through 4. You keep him in perfect peace. Man, isn't that what we long for? Perfect peace. Quiet, calmness, contentment, serenity. Perfect peace. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you. Fixing our mind on God. You keep him in perfect peace, the one whose mind is stayed on you. The problem is my mind's on, I need to reply back to that email. I need to check that social media post. I need to hit record. I need to make sure the garbage cans get out to the curb. I forgot to put that thing away. I got to make that call. His mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. For just a moment, check out and just keep your mind on the Lord. Fix your eyes on him. Hebrews 12:2 talks about that, just fixing our eyes on God. For just a moment, go off the grid. Take yourself mentally somewhere else and say, I'm going to get my heart and mind right. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of assumptions. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of anger and bitterness and resentment. For just a moment, I'm going to pursue the one who can give me perfect peace. Go over to chapter 30. Same book, Isaiah, verse 15. For thus said the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. It sounds good, but here's what he says after that. But you were unwilling. You see, in many ways, the nation of Israel is indicative of you and I. God just said there, in returning and rest, you'll be saved. Returning and rest, that sounds good. Getting back to the things that are simple, things that are proven. things that are timeless, things that are true. And in quietness and trust shall be your strength. Consider that. Being quiet, and again, just like what we read, chapter 26, verse 3 through 4, and trust. I think sometimes we don't quiet our mind very well because we don't trust very well. We don't trust ourselves, that what we might learn, what we might think, what we might experience, and we don't trust God that well. God just says there through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 15, returning and rest, you'll be saved. Thankfully, our salvation is through Jesus. Can you find your rest in Him? Man, I want you to outwork everybody. I want you to hustle and grind and grit, and I want you to get after it, and I want you to be tenacious. I want you to be relentless. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if people were a little intimidated by our work ethic and our approach. Think, man, that person, you talk about getting after it. But the only way you can really sustain a life like that is establishing some rest. Recently, I decided I was going to start rucking. I didn't even know that's what it was called, but when I Googled it, that's what came up. And I was doing several miles a day, a few miles here, some more miles here, whatever, and I started to get injured. My left Achilles became a cankle because I was just going after it, and I thought, faster, harder, longer. I mean, that's the way after it. And I realized, yeah, you're not in your 20s no more. You might want to rethink that. And a friend of mine said, yeah, that's great. Now you need to rest. And I thought, that doesn't make any sense. What I think we need to do is stay after it. Keep going. Why would we stop? Rest seems weak. I'm telling you, it's the best thing for my legs and my body. And it's the best thing for us spiritually. We have to go off the grid. We have to hit reset. And you don't have to go get lost in the woods to go off the grid. You can do it in your cubicle for just a moment if you need to. You can walk to the restroom and just have a moment if you need to. You go sit in the car for just a few moments if you need to. And you mentally go off the grid. And perhaps you look up Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3 through 4, or Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, and say, Lord, you are my rest. You are my strength. It's you who I will put my trust in. And God, help me get my heart. Help me get my mind where it needs to be. If we create a rhythm of that, we'll be in it for the long haul. I'm in on that. I hope you are too. Think about it. Read those chapters. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you for listening to the Pursuit of Manliness podcast. If you would, make sure to visit iTunes and leave a 5-star review to let others know what you think of this show. When you get a chance, make sure to visit thepursuitofmanliness.com to see what is available in the gear store, find more information out about Tribe, and much more. Thanks for listening, and let's keep pursuing biblical manliness.